You are my beam of sunlight. Desire is burning in your eyes. I try to spot you in the haze. Can we erase this big blaze? I really
All right, I think that's good. I don't know. I'm just really OCD about like how the stream looks, but I should have figured that out beforehand. Hold up, let me get some new music. We got a new overlay. Hopefully you like it. I still need to work on it a little bit. I think that looks fine. Yeah, it should be good. All right, we're back. Crazy day. Let me make sure the audio is good. Put down the music a bit. Alright, what's going on, Scrooge, JG, Laidback, Plebere, Sunny, Nerve, AK, Danny, Zeke, Alessio. How you all doing? Quite a day for the market. This was one of my worst days of the year, personally. Probably top 5 worst day of the year for me so far. Brutal out there. Very, very brutal. We're going to talk about it. You know, right now, short term, doesn't feel great for most people unless you were like in puts or something. But yeah, it's pretty rough. It's pretty rough out there. I'm going to talk about how I think, you know, these rough times are going to be creating, or they are going to create. It's not a fact, but in my opinion, it's a very good likelihood that this crash in general is going to create the next wave of generational stock market multimillionaires, right? This is similar to the dot-com bubble, 2008 COVID crash. We're only 4% away from the amount that the NASDAQ fell from the all-time high to its low during the COVID crash. During the COVID crash, I think we fell 32% on the NASDAQ from the all-time high down to the lowest point of the crash. Right now, the NASDAQ is down 28% since the high, I think last November. So this is almost equal to what the COVID crash was. So this is a full-on crash at this point. And I mean, this is nothing new. It's just we're starting to really get to the point where we're seeing a lot of capitulation, you know, liquidations and all that stuff. And we're also testing the lowest levels we've tested in a very long time for the indices. So it's a very new, crazy, scary, but also potentially a great time for some long-term opportunities and just the shifting and the changing of wealth, you know, transferring it from the patient to the impatient, or the other way around. I think Warren Buffett probably put it the other way around, from the impatient to the patient. So we're going to get to all of it. I'm going to start with crypto for like 2 minutes. I'm going to talk about my thoughts on the overall market. Then we're going to talk about Clover, which finished after hours up 15%. Really, really nice move. I'm going to need you guys' help. We need to figure out what's going on with that swing. It was up, it was down, it got off the sheet, I put it back on the sheet. Then this morning it was down 10%. I had to mark it right on the sheet. Now after earnings is back up, I'm losing my mind. We're going to have to figure it out, okay? But we're going to look, I haven't even looked at the earnings. So I'm going to look through the earnings report. I don't know, Zeke or somebody, can you, like, or one of the mods, or really anybody, I prefer a mod though, just in case it's like somebody's trying to mess with me and it's like a fake link. But can one of the mods drop the Clover earnings in the chat at some point? And we'll look at that probably in about 15 minutes. We'll look at the Clover earnings. But let me start off with the stock, or with the crypto, and then the stock market. Bitcoin not surprised at all. If you've been watching the stream the last few nights, I've been talking about how bearish this looks, especially on the weekly. That head and shoulders bear flag formation. This was the last level of hope, this little demand line, and you broke it. And we talked about the breakdown as well. And what did I say? If we break down, I think 28K is coming next. And we saw 29K at the low so far today. Very, very close. And you know, I didn't just make up that 28.7K number. It's from all of these lows. This is a major, major level you can see from all these lows over here. You're pretty much testing it. You didn't perfectly touch it, but you're pretty much testing it. So that's really where Bitcoin's at. Bitcoin is, in my opinion, at its largest make or break area right now. And this is not financial advice, and also this is still a 50-50 probability. All right, I don't see any sort of edge that gives you more than a 50% chance to go up from here, and then also an edge that's like 50% downside. Like right now, Bitcoin's in a 50-50 area, but the one thing I will say for bulls is that the reward to risk in this area is really good. Right, this is not financial advice, but let's say one were to go long, you know, placing a stop loss right under support, it's not that hard. Like give it a couple room to just chill out for a little bit, like. And then in terms of like your next major resistance, like if we clean all this up for a second here, there really isn't much resistance till up here. You have like a 5 reward to risk here. The only issue is you might have a great reward to risk. We don't really have like a super strong edge, right? You don't have like bullish divergence and some sort of bullish pattern. If anything, it's a bearish head and shoulders breakdown, but your reward to risk is good here. So we'll see. And then vice versa, if you actually break under this, the reward to risk for a put trade or a short trade would actually be good as well. Right, let's say Bitcoin were to break under and be like right over here around 28, 27K, then you could just have a stop up over here, you know, give or take a few percent of room. And then your next like level of support, which would be your target as a short trade, would be maybe like these highs, which gives you again at least a 2-point forward to risk. So this is just, you know, depending on whether you're above or below this zone, it gives you decent reward to risk, but in general it still could be very choppy area, and it's still a 50-50. So for all the crypto people in here, that's just how I'm looking at Bitcoin, and obviously the whole entire crypto market at this point, as I don't care what anybody says, Bitcoin is, and in my opinion will always be, or for at least for now, will be king in the crypto space. But talking about Bitcoin's brother, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, Ethereum, is also testing a major level. We're gonna just draw a zone right over here. So this also is looking like a big, large, I'm not even gonna say bear flag, it's too large for a bear flag in my opinion. We're gonna call it just an upsloping channel breakdown. And you're just testing this little mini zone. It was support in January and February of this year, and it even was resistance back in July of last year. So that's really it for crypto. We're going to move on to some other markets before we talk about stocks. Futures are currently flat. They were down quite a bit, like half an hour ago. They were down like over 0.5%. Now they've recovered to go, they're trying to go green right now. We'll see what happens. Crude oil, we were talking about that 108 breakout. It pretty much broke out, pretty much tapped this little resistance zone, which is like way back over here from these highs. We pretty much tapped that blue resistance zone and that was it. Now you're falling back down. Maybe you get like a back test or something. It's a little bit 50-50 in my opinion for crude oil futures. We're gonna not spend that much time on that tonight. Moving over to the 10-year. Wow. I mean, there's no certainty that this is where it pulls back, but you're pretty much at the top of the resistance zone, testing these highs from 2018. You were overbought just literally 2 days ago, and you got a bearish engulfing candle on the daily. I think there might be another name for that candle. I don't think it's a dark cloud cover. I think the dark cloud, I think you need a smaller red candle. If anybody knows the name of this candle, let me know. I don't think it's a dark cloud, but it's similar. It's just not really exactly what you're looking for. But nonetheless, a bearish engulfing, certainly. So that's the 10-year. I said this probably a week or two ago, and I still think the same thing. I still think this is due for a pullback. Let's see if that 4-hour wedge is looking how it's looking. Maybe it's actually breaking down. You actually might be breaking down from this little wedge. You chart these two little levels and create a demand line. So let's see what happens. Now moving on to metals. Gold, not doing well. I mean, it's crazy. Equities are not doing well. Crypto's not doing well. Metals aren't even doing well. We're seeing inflation. So being in cash, you're technically losing. Well, you're always losing money in cash. Technically, there's always inflation pretty much, but much more than normal right now, obviously. So it's like, where is the place? And I guess bonds have done, or at least the 10-year. I haven't looked at many other brackets of fixed income, but it's just a crazy time. It's like, where's the money going to? Maybe cash, but like that's also losing its value. But also, I'm definitely not like I'm great. I'm good. I'm not saying I'm great. I'm good with the charts. I'm not the best person when it comes to like all the economy stuff, but it's just crazy to see how many different asset classes are just getting wrecked. And yeah, gold is now under these highs. I'm not a big fan of that. You know, I've been bullish on gold all throughout over here. Even I was kind of bullish over here when we had those pin bars. And now I'm starting to, nah, it just doesn't look as good to me. Maybe you get a little bit of classic bullish divergence. Somehow, maybe you turn into a double bottom here. But for now, I'd wait for more confirmation. And then moving on to silver, this is kind of just testing support. It's kind of the 50-50, very similar to Bitcoin, but the reward to risk is decent. So that's silver. The dollar, this is the dollar currency index is mooning, but you do have some classic bearish divergence. That's really all I can talk about for now. I mean, you are testing your highs from 2017. Let's go over to the monthly maybe. So if you break these highs, you'll be at your highest price on the dollar currency index since 02, since the year I was born. Wow. So that's also crazy. And the Hang Seng Index is current, whoa, big gap down 3.5%. It looks like it opened maybe recently. It hasn't really moved much. But look at this, wow, in 3 days, okay? Let's just go from the open on May 5th, which I think was Thursday. It's down 9%. So that's actually pretty crazy. Just like, was that 2 large gap downs in a row? Wow, and you just took out these lows, so that's crazy. Anything else? We'll move over to the stock market. So now I'm going to give you all my analysis on the overall market. Then we're going to talk about CLOV and, well, there's no ongoing swings outside of premium right now. It's the first time in a long time. We had a couple of them hit targets last week. I know Upstart, which thankfully Upstart hit its target last week if you saw what happened after hours. Let's see if we can find it. Right over here, we had Upstart and then AMD and Premium hit targets last week, and then today just boom, 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 stops hitting 3 different stop outs. DraftKings, Jumia, which was in Premium. This was actually up at one point, and then CLOV. It was up after hours earnings, but like, you know, there was no way for me to forecast how earnings were going to go. Obviously, I was hoping they were going to do well, but now this is like back up, so we're gonna get to that in a little bit. But regardless of any swings on the sheet or whatnot, you all know I talk about CLOV every single night, regardless, and I'm sure a lot of you care about it as well. So it's nice to see it's up. See what happens in the morning. But before we get into all this, there is no swings. But before we even get into new potential swings or whatever, let's talk about the overall market. Make sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Check out the links in the description, and yeah. Oh, I also set up new like if anybody remembers, when we had like, when there was like New Year's, I changed the tip pop-up to like fireworks, and I was so lazy I didn't change it till May. But that's now changed. What did I put? I put like some funny stuff. I know I put Elon Musk for one of the tip. Oh yeah. Oh, so I put, Jerome Powell, like the money printer meme. If you donate like, I think 3 to 50, it's just like a regular GIF. And then if I think it's like 50 to 99, it's like a faster version of the GIF. And then like 100 plus, it's like a crazy version. Like, let me just show you. And then I think I put a Kramer GIF for something. I don't remember. I put a bunch of different GIFs for like the alert pop-ups. But I'm talking about like this one. There's like different versions of it. So this is like the first version. I know my screen's cutting out. And then there's like the second version. This is like 50 plus, and then there's the 100 plus, which is probably one of the other ones. But yeah, I finally got around to that. But cool. Okay. The stock market. SPY down 3% today. Russell 2000 down 4% today. QQQ Nasdaq down 4% today. XLE down 8% today. Very interesting. Maybe we'll start with energy tonight. And then the ARK ETF down 10% today. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. But if we take a look at the XLE, the energy select sector right now, take a look at how you had this demand line, this white demand line over here. You tested a breakdown, you kind of ran and like just tapped this little support zone from these highs and this low. Then you ran back up like this leg. If you all remember, I was bearish over here and I was wrong. But this leg was just like, you just randomly spike back up, and now today you're just a major fall. This has obviously been, this sector has been heavily outperforming most other sectors in the market so far this year. And now you're starting to see a potential for like a double top here. I think I'm bearish on it again. I want to be safe because like the last 2 times I was bearish on it, it just went even higher, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. And you might have flipped this demand line into a supply line. So we're just going to start there. And in the chat saying energy losing dominance. This is definitely a first. I think it's the worst it's seen in like this whole entire run maybe. So yeah, moving on to the S&P now, which was down 3% today. There's one thing that happened today that surprised me a bit. 400.68. I'm very upset that we just gave up that level into the close, or even the second half of the day. This was a major gap fill. I'm sure many other people were watching this gap fill level over here. And you originally tested in the morning, and you actually did bounce off of it roughly, like right over here. I think twice maybe. So this was around like 400. You went a little bit under it. But like twice you bounced off that 400 area, and then it looks like in the final hour of the day, just the bears took control again. But that was the key level that I thought we were good. I thought we were holding it, and then just the final hour, nope. So on the daily, we zoom out, not a lot of horizontal support. That is one thing that's a little bit scary. I mean, you could even see a little bit more clearer on the weekly. It's just like, if we're looking for horizontal support, we don't see much until like around over here. This is all just kind of straight up, right? So it does get a little bit scary from a horizontal level. Also fibs, you're not even at your 382 fib from the COVID crash low to all-time highs until like 380-ish. So there's just, in this whole entire area right over here, there just really isn't much. There's no fibs, there's no horizontal support. There's just nothing here, which is a little bit scary for the first time because we've had some sort of level all throughout over here, and now we just really don't. However, we have some potential formations. You could look, instead of horizontal levels, you could look for demand lines. On the 4-hour, I charted this green demand line over here connecting these lows. But this is very, not skeptical, subjective. I'm sure a lot of different people are going to have different formations. I wouldn't even really look at this as a wedge. I mean, it kind of is, but it's just not that clean. It's too, wide. I don't know. I'm just using this to, visualize how the SPY looks. I think the NASDAQ had a clearer wedge on the daily, but that's kind of actually, it's kind of still there. This actually looks like a much cleaner wedge to me, this NASDAQ falling wedge on the daily. But again, you're not at much of any level. We're going to get back to NASDAQ in a second. But yeah, on the SPY, we don't have levels. We maybe have a demand line. What could save us here? The bull case, it's the same thing that also saved us the last however many times. And I did see Lord Bogendorf on his new Twitter, WACC Club, I believe it is, talk about this. And we've been talking about this for the last year, but I didn't even realize it. We got that same signal that, has been great to us. right? I mean, if you're just looking at these circles and then looking up at the price, you can see very clearly what happened. You have those volume spikes at your major lows on the SPY. This is something I noticed probably halfway through last year. And this has been our signal for the bottom every single time. And then also, Zeke's got it in the chat, you're at your lower Bollinger Band, right? These Bollinger Bands is like this little black cloud that you see now, and this dark black line you can see, you're at it, right? And the last few times you had a combination of this volume, of these volume spikes in that lower Bollinger Band, every single time, the same thing has happened. Now, here's the thing. There's no indicator or set of indicators that are going to work 100% of the time. This could not work. It's only a probability. But if the same thing that happened at least the last 4 times, and potentially even more, I'm not going to go back and chart it, happens again, then good. But the only question is, like, you could keep this high volume, and you could keep staying at the lower Bollinger Band for a few more days. It's not like it has to be just today, but that's like the one, like, what if scenario. But we'll see. And hopefully if you do get a bounce from those variables, you can just get back above 401, so we have some sort of level to talk about, or just 400 as a psychological level. So there's the S&P 500. Now we're going to talk about the NASDAQ, which, again, very similar. You have this kind of wedge formation. If you can't bounce off this wedge demand line, then I would say look for this gap fill right over here at around 11.2K on the NASDAQ. That's going to be a key level to watch. However, I do think we broke a very important zone, right? Look at these highs and lows. We broke the strongest support area. We broke it, okay? Multiple highs and lows in this little blue zone, and that was broken. So, you know, it's good to hope that we're just quickly falling under our major supports on the S&P and the NASDAQ, and our wedges and our Bollinger Bands and our volumes are going to save us. But until it happens, we're not above support. We are under support, which makes a resistance, which makes another lower low and a lower high, which is a continuation of a bearish trend that we've been seeing. So it's basically right now, it's just from a horizontal level standpoint, you're not looking great. And you just have to somehow hope that some sort of variables, or maybe some good news catalyst, maybe CPI, who knows, helps out the market and helps us get back over those levels. Because if we can't reclaim those levels probably this week, it's kind of like obvious that there's just nothing else here. So we could, you know, just keep floating down. So next few days are going to be very, very important. Moving on to small caps from large caps, the Russell 2000. This is interesting. Unlike the S&P and the NASDAQ, which are only at, I mean, let me see what retrace. I think the S&P wasn't even at the 382 yet. The NASDAQ is at a 50% retrace, so that's actually a lot better than the S&P from the COVID crash lowest to high. So S&P hasn't even hit the 382 retrace yet. The NASDAQ has hit a 50%. The Russell 2000 is also nearing a 50%. But the one thing is, the Russell actually has a level. The NASDAQ and the S&P don't. The Russell does. A very key level, very, very close. I think it's only a few percent away. This 170 level, I talked about this in the Discord last week. That's only another 2% away. And this is actually a very real level. Even if that breaks, you also have this weekly gap fill. Wow, not even a daily, a weekly gap fill around 165. So thankfully, the Russell is very quickly approaching some support. The Russell has not outperformed the large caps, the S&P and the NASDAQ, even since before the market started correcting. Like over here, the Russell is just going sideways. Meanwhile, I mean, if we just pull this up, look at this. That's the wrong one, sorry. Where's compare? There we go. So while the Russell was just going sideways over here, the S&P was still going higher. So the Russell has not outperformed the S&P probably since like February, January of 2021, right? We had the growth stock top in like February of 2021. That's when the ARKK ETF topped as well. But meanwhile, large caps continued higher from like May of last year to like November of last year, while obviously mid caps and small caps just went sideways, and growth stocks especially started crashing in like fall of last year, a lot of them. But so basically my point right now is they were the first to fall. It'll be interesting if they're the first to recover. However, they just have underperformed for a long time, so it's going to be a little bit tough to break that trend. But we'll see. And then moving on to the ARKK ETF. This is pretty much the limit as to what I would allow this. What I would allow this to be a bullish bat. I don't know if like the actual rubric is like 3%. This is around 3% from the 886, maybe like 4%. But I think it's like the final level. If these areas fail, then I mean maybe you're talking an alternate bat, but like that sends you down to $17. Just imagine. I truly hope this doesn't happen. I really think we're going to need to see, and knock on wood, this doesn't happen, but I think we need to be in like a depression for that to happen. But that's like another 60% drop from how much the ARK has already dropped if this turns into an alternate bat. And that would mean you'd be down 90% pretty much from your highs of the beginning of last year. So let's hope the alternate bat does not happen. That would be your lowest level since like 2016 on the ARK. So let's hope that, you know, again, anything could happen even in between that, but let's hope that somehow this is like near the bottom. And I did put out a tweet last year saying I think that we're seeing a bottom on growth, mid caps, and we're not too much lower from the bottom of, I think it was the week before. Let me see. This is the bottom I was originally talking about when I put out that tweet. Let's see, right over here, this bottom. So I was saying that I think this is a general bottoming area. Right now we're about 8-9% lower. So in general, like just this area, like anywhere in the zone, this is where I think we could see some sort of reversal. But again, it's not like the ARK and the Russell have outperformed the S&P in a long time. So they're going to need to do that unless the S&P somehow recovers now with those Bollinger Bands in volume or some sort of news catalyst. So this is a very, very interesting point. And then, you know, alongside that final area for this bullish bat for PCZ, you also have a little bit of support here from these lows over here. You can see that little red line lining up or close to lining up with these lows over here. So last level on the ARK ETF. I still have some ARK calls actually for I think May 20th. Those are down like 50%. It's a riskable position for me, but obviously I'd prefer it be in profit. And that's where the ARK ETF is currently at, all right? Now, something else I have calls in, which could be nice tomorrow morning, is Clover. Let's talk about Clover earnings today. I did pick up some 2.5 strike CLOV calls, complete lotto earnings play. It's a very small position size, so it's not really a big position size. But let's talk about CLOV and how the earnings went. I think Zeke dropped the link in the chat earlier. You all know I like sticking to the charts. A lot of you are much better at reading earnings reports than me. Don't be mean in chat. I'm gonna mess up a lot. I'm just trying my best, okay? Yeah, we're gonna get to that in a second. Let me just read the chat first, and we can talk about CLOV. It's not even like we have swings to break down, so we could spend some time on that. I'll talk about Fisker, of course. I'm just gonna talk about some random stocks on my watch list. Well, we'll talk about probably like Twitter, or I don't know. We'll figure it out. We have a lot to talk about. But keep hitting the like button, hit the subscribe button. Hopefully you're enjoying the new overlay. And let's open this up. And I'm going to switch over to my other screen so you can see this full screen in a second. One final thing. And for Mehdi or Zeke, if you're doing the timestamps, don't start CLOV just yet. I want to talk about one final thing for the market going into tomorrow before we move on to like individual names. So just the final part for the market segment. Watch these wedges, okay? Watch these wedges. I talked about the higher time frames on all the indices. On the lower time frames tomorrow, watch these falling wedges. We do have some like nice lower time frame wedges appearing. Like you have this green wedge on the 15-minute. I have like this white wedge on the 5-minute. Oh, let's make it white right now. So you have a couple of like wedges going in tomorrow. If they do break out, I will be letting you know during the day in the Discord. Okay, so join the Discord, and if you want those like alerts, like notifications, go to the notifications channel right over here and make sure you hit this thumbs up button to get your active trader role. This is for people that want to have market updates intraday on things like wedge breakouts and, you know, stuff like that. So if you want, you know, an update tomorrow, if this does break out, and I might play calls on it if it does break out, or maybe even before, we'll see. Or if I play puts, whatever it is, you know, just hit this button if you want to get intraday updates, okay? Discord's free to join. The link is in the description. But yeah, watch these wedges even on the QQQ. It probably looks even better on the QQQ. Even like those 15-minute pin bars, but that won't mean much, you know. Intraday counts don't mean much the next day, in my opinion. So just watch these wedges tomorrow, right? I just wanted to make sure I included that. If you ever get confused by any of the terms I use, make sure to check out the free course. Link is in the description.
Stream vibes.
I thought the text to speech wasn't going to work, but it worked. Nerve, thank you. You're the first person to ever tip with the new what's it called? Alerts. Let me replay it. There we go. So yeah, new GIF. And then there's two other variations. The $50 one is like $50 one's like crazier than this, and there's like colors, and I think the $100 one's like even crazier. Like it goes crazy. But yeah, sorry, Powell. I don't know if you're gonna like those GIFs on my stream, but Right now, the money printer is actually not going to burn the market, but it's going to burn the stream, all right? Thank you to Nerve for the 777 for all the tips, all the support, for being in day one in the stream. Vibes in the chat for Nerve. And yeah, stream vibes. Stream vibes. I'm back. And new overlay. And schedule is back to normal pretty much, all right? It's going to be basically Monday to Thursday every single week. Or every week. And it's going to be either 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. EST. I'm just going to pick a time depending on the day. So some nights I'm going to stream at 8 p.m. EST. Some nights I'm going to stream at 9 p.m. EST. That's what it's going to be looking like. But yeah, every single night, either at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock. Flip a coin. Maybe you'll be right. I'm going to be going live Monday or Thursday, and the streams are going to be longer. I'm not no more 30, 40-minute streams. I want to do an hour minimum every night. So yeah, longer streams as well. And let's see. Let me read the chat now. And we're gonna look at the Clover earnings. Playback says, let's get some likes in here. Started off right for Champ. Thank you. AK says, new layout is clean. Appreciate it. NASCAR Lot says, are you getting slaughtered in your account? Just question. Today I did. Today, I had said it earlier in the stream, today was the top 5 worst day of the year for me. April was a green month for me though. I think May, I'm down on the month right now in May, I think so. April was a good month for me though. Wasn't like insanely good, but I made money in April, you know? And the market was horrible in April. But I was just nonstop day trading, and it was a lot of, I think SPY was my biggest gainer last month. Day trading the SPY, but so far this month it's been a lot tougher to day trade the SPY this month. Even though today, we'll get to it later in the stream, but I alerted 3 different SPY calls today. All these were the option alerts from today. This QQQ is outside of premium. It was for all of you in the Discord right over here. But guess what? You'd think, all right, you had 5 alerts today. The 4 of them that were winners must have been puts, because today was a horrible day in the market. It went straight down. It's quite the opposite. These 4 winners were actually all call option alerts intraday. I called intraday bounces, and the one that failed was actually Twitter puts, which we'll talk about Twitter later, but it's crazy. So yeah. All right. Clover earnings. Hit the like button. Okay. Zoom in. I think you all should be able to read that. I know the chat's blocking a little bit. We could disable the chat just for this segment. There we go. Champ, what song is this? Is fire? I think it's probably over now. I'm not too sure. I'm sorry. Turning Stock News says 10 years about to drop under 3. We shall see. We'll see. I do think it's due for a pullback, but you never know. All right, Clove earnings. So just first off, I think I already said it. Clove was up 15% after hours. Just some highlights at the top, or notes at the top. First quarter total revenue was $874 million compared to $200 million in the first quarter of 2021. Okay. Lives under Clover management grew from 257,000 from about 66,000 year over year. First quarter insurance MA medical care ratio MCR. Everybody talks about these MCRs, and I still am not too familiar with them. I remember when I was talking to Tar Heel back. I need to message Tar Heel, by the way. I want to see how he's doing, but I'm sure a lot of you Clover fans are very familiar with the MCR. I still it's like the key number that a lot of you look for. So somebody explain that to me. I think Tar Heel explained this to me like 3 times, and I still I can understand stuff like PE ratios and all that, but when it comes to like terms for like healthcare stocks and like stuff like that, it's just not my expertise. I don't know. But Clover expects to continue 2020 or continues to expect 2022 insurance MCR of 95 to 99%. And a further stepwise improvement beyond. 2022 was off to a strong start, led by significant year-over-year revenue growth, quarter-over-quarter margin improvements in MA and non-insurance direct contract. Now is another big name that a lot of you, or phrase that a lot of you like to talk about. We believe our focus on balancing the strong growth with ongoing action to further reduce MCRs, so that's medical cost ratios, increase operational efficiencies, and is powering our progress towards profitability. Andrew Toy, this year we'll to continue investing in the Clover Assistant to deliver data-driven, value-based care, and are rounding out our leadership team with the top-level talent. All right. Let's see. So we have revenue over here. Again, not my expertise. Net loss. This is in millions, 75 million if I'm reading that correctly for Q1 of this year compared to 48 of last year. Operating expenses, 84 million. If that's in millions. So this is a live under management stats. Insurance members, what's that, like 20K, almost higher? And then total lives, I mean, wow. Lives under Clover Assistant management grew about 550% year over year. We are cautiously optimistic about the remainder of 2022 and are maintaining our expectations for a meaningful improvement over last year. This is an interim CFO. Total revenues are, so for the full year of 2022, total revenues are expected to be in the range of $3 to $3.4 billion. This includes projected insurance revenue of $1 billion to $1.1 billion and non-insurance revenue of $2 billion to $2.3 billion. Insurance membership is expected to average an 84,000 to 85,000, a growth rate of 26 to 27% as compared to the 2021 average. And then non-insurance, the company expects the average number of aligned beneficiaries to be 160K and 165K, compared to an average of 62K roughly in 2021. Zeke says, most basic terms, the lower it is under 100%, the better. That's for MCR, I believe. Okay, thank you. Adjusted operating expenses are expected to be between 330 and 345 million for, I believe it's again for a 2020 full year. And then as a percentage of revenue, non-GAAP is expected to be 10 to 12% compared to 18% in 2021. I'm not gonna act like I know what a lot of this stuff is. Cash and cash equivalents and investments, about the same as was this Q4 2021. This is in thousands, by the way. Total assets much higher. Relatively the same, about the same. Liabilities much higher. Okay. So we already talked about the revenues. We talked about the net loss, I believe. Okay, so that's pretty much my read on the earnings. Again, you all watch the stream for the charts. You know, don't watch my stream for my earnings breakdowns. I'm just pretty much reading what they said, not really getting much of any opinions. But what I look at is how other people react to news, and then I trade based on those candles that they are making on my charts because they're making buys and sells. So yeah, up 15% after hours on this earnings report. Let's go take a look at the chart, see how it looks different. Or see how different it looks. Risky seeds. MCR simple. It is how much they spend to make money. A MCR of 110 means they spend $100 to make $100. That part. So an MCR 110 means I spent 100 to make 100, but why is it 110 though? An MCR of 96 means they spent 96 to make 100. Under 100 is good. That's what Zeke said as well. I think industry average is 85. So what companies are you all like comparing this to? What's that? It's H something. Is it this one? What's this stock? Health services. What companies do you all like comparing CLOV to? Again, you all gotta help me out here. I'll try and help you all out with the charts. You all gotta help me out with all this, okay? But look at this steel wall resistance on HUM. Wow. UNH and HUM. So that's United, right? United Health Group. This is a crazy trend line with that. Sorry, spent 110 to make 100. Oh, okay, yeah. Thank you though, Risky Seeds, for the explanation. All right, so let's move over to the CLOV chart. And it's not at 241 after hours. It closed at 277. So let's draw a line over there. So this green line is where Clover actually is after hours. This chart showing Clover as a market close. So assuming it's up there and we open at that, everything I talked about is assuming we open at 277 tomorrow. You could sell off in pre-market. It's possible. I hope not for the sake of my lotto calls, but we'll see. So you still have the potential for hitting bullish divergence as long as you stay above all-time lows, pretty much. And now you're back up here. If you open up here, that means you're pretty much going to be gapping outside of this wedge. Now, again, I'm not going to act like, you know, let's say we break out tomorrow. And I mean, all we got to do is be up like 10%, just something light, just 10% in the morning to break out of the wedge. I'm not going to act like the technicals is why you broke out. Like, thanks to earnings, of course, but they could work together. And, you know, it just helps to be out of the pattern that we've been in since the end of March in general. So we gap up, we're out of it. I'd say key level of support intraday to keep an eye on is like 266, these lows over here. If we go over to the 4-hour chart on CLOV, and you open at 277 in terms of resistance, I'd keep an eye on this little area between 289 and $3. All right, so 293 resistance, hopefully 260-ish support if you do test at this little zone over here. And you're kind of like right at the top of this little area. So still kind of testing a make or break area. You're still only going to be at where you were last week. But it's obviously much better than your lows from today, because today was down 10% before the close. All right, and any low that is higher than our all-time low is a good thing, but we got to start curling. All right, it would be amazing to have our first higher low in like literally probably since like right over here, which would be August of last year. And remember the 50% run in 20 days that nobody cared about? Yeah, I'm talking about that one, okay? And yeah, that would be good. You got to start curling, which I mean, on earnings, you were curling. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. Again, we'll wait till the candles appear on the daily or during market hours. And yeah, I mean, if you want to take a look at this after hours, we can for a second, see what the move looks like heading into tomorrow like that. All right, so we'll see what happens, okay? And that's CLOV. What else? Let's just run through my watch list. So we did have DraftKings as a swing stop out today. It just got wrecked. I mean, there was a support level, 13, very clear. It dates back to these levels over here, and you gave it up, and then you sold off, and then you sold off, and you sold off even close under the wedge. Eventually, triple classic bullish divergence is possible. I'll be completely honest with all of you. This is not financial advice. I do not believe that DraftKings should be at $11 right now. I think it's part of a large... I call it like a reverse bubble almost. Like if this was the bubble, we're in the reverse bubble right now. I think things are so insanely, some things are so insanely just undervalued, not because of their actual fundamentals, just because it's a risk off like everything type of environment. And again, this is not just specific to DraftKings. It's not financial advice. This company can go lower. All it's done since September of last year is go lower, right? So it's a counter trend idea, which is also always harder to kind of create an idea like that. But all right, you can't hate on me for saying I think DraftKings is undervalued at 11 when people are buying this stock at $70. All right, you're gonna hate on me for talking about being, I would say bullish, just in terms of price at this price compared to up over here. So it's just a very different scenario for these basket of stocks. And I was hinting at earlier in the stream, it's maybe in the title, and I'm tweeting all these random things throughout the day. You all probably think I'm going crazy, but I view all this as opportunity. And again, I'm not just specifically only talking about DraftKings here. There's a lot of these types of stocks. There's a large amount of stocks, and I've been saying the same thing. I know I sound like a broken record for probably over a month or two now, but it's the same thing. We might be 20-30% lower on some of these stocks. I still think the same thing I thought 2 months ago. I still think a lot of these are just vastly undervalued, and if you have patience, I think it really can pay off over time. It just, the issue is most people don't have patience, and it's not easy to have patience when you look at your account and it's super red, and I understand that. But personally, if I can, you know, if I can have a good couple of weeks here, make back the last few days from what I lost, I mean, I really think like I was like The COVID crash happened right before I was able to trade stocks. It happened like March. I started trading on May. You all know my birthday, May 6th at this point. I was like, should I say my birthday? And Elliot talked about it last week on stream. But I started trading on May 6th of 2020. So I was like 2 months late. Like by the time, like we can even go back and look at it. Let's see where the market was in May. So this was a COVID crash. By my birthday, I mean, look at this. By my birthday, we had already recovered. By the time I started getting into the market, we had already recovered like more than halfway of what the COVID crash was. So I missed that. And then it was a great environment for a long time, of course. And this is the first time that we're seeing, I don't know, over or a 20% drop on the SPY, 25% plus drop on the NASDAQ since I've been in the market. So this is my first crash or bear market ever, like actually in the market, not just watching it from the sidelines like I did in crypto when Bitcoin fell from 20K to 3K. So I want this to, you know, if I can play my cards correctly and if things go well, I mean, this really, not just for me, but for a lot of you, and it doesn't matter what age you are, if you have knowledge in the market right now, I mean, I think this is an opportunity being created. I'm not saying we're at the bottom right now. This is not financial advice, but don't just go all in on one specific day trying to time the bottom. I'm saying averaging in, and even maybe you might even average in too early, then it goes lower and you have to wait. Like I'm saying, I think eventually the same thing that has always happened in over a century will happen again. There's not one time that the market has fallen this much or didn't recover percent-wise, okay? So it's just timing it, you know, it's not gonna be, I don't think 99.9% people are gonna be able to time this perfectly, but you don't have to time it perfectly. And if you can just be patient and just, what's the word to use? Just, I wouldn't say compound in, not even just average in, just scale, right? And if you do that correctly, this is what could change a lot of people's lives. This is what will change a lot of people's lives, in my opinion. The only question is how long? How long until inflation really starts coming down? You know, what does this turn into? We'll see. But in general, I'm just saying this crash, whether the crash ends right here or whether the crash ends right here, is going to create a lifetime of multimillionaires. It's just a question of who can stick around till then, in my opinion. So that's how I'm looking at it. And I'm not happy short term that things are going so bad. The swings are doing horrible. People are losing money. But I'd be lying if I said I wasn't excited that this is a good opportunity just in general. This is a good opportunity for a long-term perspective, in my opinion. So everybody's getting fearful. I'm starting to get excited in terms of the deals that the market is now presenting. You all know I've said it nonstop. I've not really built any sort of long-term. I had a long-term a little bit over here, and then I just kind of redirected that to like short-term accounts. But I really haven't had the time to make like a long-term just hold account, and I might use this as an opportunity. I'm still trying to short-term a little bit more and just kind of build up like my base, but it's going to be a very interesting time, and I'm going to be streaming the whole time. I'm going to be in the Discord the whole time. All right, I've said this before. Market goes to zero, I'll still be streaming. We'll be talking about literally this, and I'll be doing technical analysis on this. Okay, all right. So I'm still going to be here. It's just you got to put yourself in a position where one day is not going to ruin things. All right, a lot of people are just really just starting to gamble, and I've been there myself in the past. Like, and today, I mean, today was rough for me too. So it's just timing more than even analysis, in my opinion. Do you think DraftKings is recession proof? I don't know, you know, and there's also a lot of good points. You know, somebody also brought up a good point. I was talking about earlier today how last year, May 12th was the bottom that I don't care. I have a big ego right now. I called the bottom in May of last year. If you don't believe that, just go back on my Twitter and the streams and see how I was talking about the market. But, you know, we had like a correction, just a regular 10% correction, almost a 9% correction in the NASDAQ last May. And that did lead us into what was a legendary second half of May and June. If you saw what the swings looked like back then, you know what I'm talking about. I mean, it was a very good time if you were around. But it pretty much led to a week like this on the sheet, which is pretty much as opposite as possible than the current week on the sheet, which is this. Okay, so This all happened after May 12th when we bottomed out right over here last year. We had this very crazy melt up rally over here for like at least a month, and then we went sideways for a couple months, and then boom. But you know, I'm just saying it's about a year since then. In 2 days, it's going to be pretty much the 1-year anniversary of that bottom. And you know, somebody did say, you know, it's obviously a very different time in the market fundamentally, which is very, very true. So again, you know, these indicators, these past seasonality things, they're never going to work 100% of the time. But it's cool to take a look at them. Zeke says, I've been dollar cost averaging into DraftKings under 13 in my IRA. Not a lot of shares, but building a position. Our fintech stocks looking, I have started a small SOFI position. We can take a look at SOFI. It's in my personal fund in the ETF simulator. It was testing a breakout, and then with the rest of the market just flopped again. So yet another test of this supply line rejected, new all-time low today. I would just like to see SOFI eventually just break out of this wedge. I mean, it only has to go up. I mean, let's really zoom in here. It has to go up and stay up like 3 or 4% to break out of it. But in general, I just want to see it get back above this previous lows from the end of April. Bitcoin, 7 red candles on the weekly. Is that right? Looks like it's right. That is crazy. And that's the crazy thing. It's like if crypto is only breaking down right now, it's like, what has all of this been? You know, I've been out of crypto for some time now, but I really do feel for a lot of you in crypto. I mean, I guess the market's doing the same thing. The market's been pretty much red since November of last year as well. So it's not like you're experiencing something that people in stocks aren't experiencing as well. But I don't know. It is very brutal. All right, if you want me to take a look at any tickers, drop them in the chat and I will. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Thank you for all the support tonight. And yeah, let's just do ticker requests now. While you all drop them tickers in the chat, I guess we can talk about like maybe Twitter or something. But yeah, I'm really not going to spend too much time doing a breakdown on like the SPY calls I alerted today. But basically I alerted 3 different SPY calls. All 3 of them are winners. At 10:43 I alerted SPY calls. They were $1.07. At 11:11 they were up 20% and I marked them green. Okay. Then I alerted SPY calls at 11. That might have been the 11:08 one I was just talking about. But I mean, I don't even really want to get into it. I alerted 3 different SPY calls. I mean, they were probably just the main bounces of the day today. 2 of them were like 20-something% gains, and then the last one I think was a 50% gain, and like the last one was this one hit 70%. Wow. So yeah, this is how it went pretty much. I mean, actually that's not true. I can't look this one up this cheap, but it was like 20, 70. It was cool, right? I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about the SPY calls. They worked. You can guess what happened. I looked for areas where we could see bounces. Maybe, I think one was alerted somewhere around over here. Maybe one was here. You get the point. But what I do want to talk about, even we also had the QQQ. If you're in the Discord, you saw this. I alerted QQQ calls right over here, and they went up about 95%. But I alerted QQQ calls like right at the first low of day that we made, like in the morning, and then we had a nice little like 1% rally, and then you know kind of flopped over again. But those calls still did go up 90% plus intraday. So nice calls today. But I'm gonna spend more time talking about the one trade that failed out of the 5 trades I alerted today, which was Twitter. I alerted Twitter puts. I saw the Hindenburg short report, and I was like, let me just take a look at Twitter. And if you all remember, I was talking about that triangle on Twitter, and I also saw it. Yo, it's breaking down from this 4-hour triangle, and it broke down. And then on the 15-minute, I was seeing that it was breaking down from this little $48 level. Look at all these lows over here. So I alerted Twitter puts pretty much right here. And summary, it just didn't work. It just didn't work. You were breaking down from that triangle. You could see it's the main line you were breaking down from. You were breaking down from this support. Sometimes it happens, right? The one put trade I alerted on a super red day for the market was the only option idea that failed. It's just crazy. But yeah, I alerted them like here. It didn't work out. They probably stopped out somewhere over here. I know I stopped out when it broke above VWAP. I stopped them out 30%. Like right over here is where it stopped. and then it went back down later. It just was, it was an L. All right, sometimes things just fail, and again, I'll always talk about those on stream. I'll talk about the winners, even though tonight I'm not, but I'll also always talk about the losers. Okay. So that was Twitter, I guess. Fisker, yeah, we need to look at Fisker. Down 5% today. Again, the swing trade already hit its first target. It's at its lowest price since SPAC days, I believe. I think it put in a new low over to the weekly. All right, yeah, you broke under this low on May of last year, so pretty much exactly a year ago. You put in a low around 960-ish, and you broke that low today. You closed under 950. Your next low is like 870-ish on Fisker. Your previous all-time lows. This is where I alerted the bullish butterfly. I probably would not be streaming right now. Technically, if this low didn't happen, I might have not been streaming right now. That's crazy to think about. But I started streaming when we had the butterfly, which was literally right there. So it's a flash from the past, and yeah, that's your next level. In general, this whole entire blue zone is your only like major support on the weekly, and you're still testing it. You're still in it, but there's not much. I'm not gonna lie. There isn't much of an edge. Maybe you get some classic bullish divergence here. It needs to start, especially on the weekly. You want to wait for that to start developing. You don't want to just call it classic bullish divergence yet. But yeah, I have to be honest when it comes to charts. I'm just not a big fan of how it broke under these lows, short term. But long term, you're still technically, for now, in an optimal reward to risk area. There's no certainty that it's going to do the same thing it did the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. But if it does, right, your resistance is much further away from where a technical stop at area would be, right? Just saying. So that's where Fisker's at. The 1 hour wedge. I can't curse on the stream, but to the bears that sold it off and it didn't let the 1 hour wedge play out, congrats. All right, congrats. We had a nice little move over here after earnings, but congrats. All right, have your fun. Okay, we'll see how this all turns out in a couple of years. Have your fun for now. That's all I'm gonna say. We've had fun in the past multiple times. There was a swing alert at every single one of these harmonic PCZs, every single one of them. And hopefully we have fun. Good chance we'll have fun again in the future. Just waiting for variables. You have that potential classic bullish divergence, but I need more than just divergence. And trust me, I always love to put off Fisher swings, but only when the time is right and the variables are aligned. We got like one variable right now. Waiting for more. AMD. Yeah, let's take a look at that. AMD was a premium swing. Look at that. Perfectly hit that first target. I alerted it at 88. First target was 99. It tapped that first target. It was like a 13% gain in like a couple days. And now it's back down. It is retesting the PCZ of this bullish bat, which is why I alerted AMD to premium members as a swing. Also retesting this $85 support. This is your make or break area. It's that simple. Break 85-ish. Next level is 74. Hold it. Next resistance is 99. That's AMD. Yeah, actually look at it on low time frames going into tomorrow. See if there's anything there. Take a look at this. You've got a bat on AMD on the lower time frames. Pretty nice bullish bat. All right. So in general, you just want to hold this blue zone going into tomorrow. I'm gonna keep on my watches. I'm not gonna say interested, but I'd pay more attention to AMD on lower time frames right now than higher time frames right now, honestly. Just to see if this does something tomorrow. Yeah. GameStop. Hopefully you just hold these lows around $80 to $90. Not much I see apart from that. Potential hidden bullish divergence if you start curling. You're not curling right now. We'll see what happens. I'd say you might even be like, I don't know, maybe you could say you're still in this wedge, sure. And I don't think that's a deep enough beat point for it to be a bat. It's too shallow. Palantir. Palantir, what happened? Earnings? How did I not know this? Palantir was down 20% today. All-time lows. Wow. That's crazy. Bad guidance, Mehdi's saying. What's up, Mehdi? How you doing? I'm just very surprised. I mean, this was $45 and now $7. Like, I don't care who you are. And everybody's going to act like, oh, I predicted this. Go find me one. I mean, every stock has its like ultra bears, but apart from like the ultra bears that just hate a stock because they were short one time and they got wrecked, apart from the ultra bears, nobody was saying at 45 pounds is going to be at $7 in the, I mean, was it a year? In a year and 3 months. Like, nobody. Like, how do you, like, it's a very crazy reverse bubble, right? We're calling it the reverse bubble, the reverse growth bubble, the crash of the century for growth stocks. I don't know if this is worse than the .com. I don't know the percentages, but like, this didn't even happen in the COVID crash. We're talking about, and again, this is from all-time highs, like at the top of like a crazy like bubble at the time for a lot of growth stocks, but like down 82% and in only 1 year. I mean, that's like, that's not even like, that's like depression stuff for a lot of these stocks. It's not just like crashes or bear markets. Like, I'm pretty sure in an average bear market, most stocks don't drop all the way like to 80 to 90%. Like, these growth stocks are just, wow. I mean, I know I just talked about it. I don't really do much analysis. There's not much analysis to do. I mean, this blue zone is not resistance because you're under it. Hopefully you can get back above it. Until then, there's not much data at this price point to talk about. Oh my gosh, you asked me to look at RDBX earlier today, Zeke, and I didn't. I'm so sorry. I was really like just running around in the afternoon. My bad. I know, like, I was literally like, it was like in my mind, like, I think I was like looking at the SPY or something. I was like, and I saw in premium, you were like, can you look at RDBX? I was like, I got you. And I just completely forgot. I'm so sorry. We're going to look at it right after ChargePoint and Lucid. ChargePoint, another one. Breaking lows. I mean, this is pretty much testing all-time lows. Your previous support was around $11 to $11.50. Hopefully you can get back above that. Hopefully you can. Another one, all right? We're gonna start doing this in all the stocks that got wrecked. $49 to $10, okay? It also does kind of look like one like huge wedge. Oh my god, wow. It's actually a really nice looking huge wedge. However, you're not even close to breaking out for right now, so it's gonna take a much larger move to break out. I'm just interested to see, you know, if all these growth stocks could do this and they could do this, maybe some of them could do this again. I don't know. We'll call it the end pattern. Can they create the end pattern or no? Lucid. I have not looked at a lot of these stocks in like a few weeks, and to see how much they've dropped in just a few weeks is crazy. I've literally just been looking at the S&P and like a small basket of stocks I trade intraday. Oh my gosh. I didn't even realize how bad in so many different places. How bad it got in so many different places. Like, I'm getting goosebumps. Wow. And like, not for all these stocks, but like for some of these stocks, it's some crazy opportunity. Not even technical. I don't even know if I'd say fundamental, just price wise. Like, there's so many companies making way more in revenue than they have in market cap. Can you believe that? And I know a lot of them have crazy expenses and everything, but like, how is Lucid at 16? I didn't look at this for a few days, and I swear last time I looked at it was like 20 something. Wow. I mean, just in the past 3 days, it's fallen, I mean, 20% almost. Is RIVN destroyed? It's been destroyed since like IPO'd pretty much, but we get it after this. Lucid, in terms of TA, like, your last level of support is one low at $16. If you don't hold it, there's nothing down till 10. and I have the other levels chart. Like, there's just not much I can, like, I say the same thing whenever you all ask me about charts that are up 50% nonstop and they're just going straight up. I say there's not much I can do here. Same thing, when you go straight down, there's not much I can do here. You got to see some sort of consolidation to create patterns, and you're just not seeing it right now. But I would still keep an eye on a lot of the stocks just to see how, if they can create like hammer candles, divergence. You've got triple classic bullish divergence, potentially quadruple now because the smack just went back to red. Like, it goes back to green eventually. Like, wow. RIVN, yeah. Wasn't there, is Rivian the one that Ford or one other bank has to like sell or something, or plans to? Like, was it Rivian? I think I saw some news like that over the weekend. I don't know. This is just in a huge wedge, but it's been in this wedge since it IPO'd. I mean, technically kind of like maybe it broke out of it and now it's maybe back testing, but you want to just start seeing like, there's going to be a lot of stocks that show you wedges. You want to start seeing like higher lows and higher highs for more confirmation. A wedge by itself in these types of downtrends are not enough. You need a lot more confirmation than just that. All right, RDBX, we have to look at that. RDBX. Upstart earnings report wasn't that bad. Thankfully, that swing hit its target because, yeah, it got wrecked. We'll look at that. I'm not going to look at the earnings. We'll just look at the chart. SPY dropped about 50% during Y2K in 2009 crash. We are nowhere close to that, just barely 70% from all-time highs. NASDAQ is only 4% away from COVID crash, though. And again, I'm not talking about the SPY. I'm talking about like growth stocks, like heavy growth stocks. Like the ARK ETF was selling off while the S&P was making all-time highs. They're completely, like, now they're both selling off, but they were completely separate. Those are the types. I'm talking about stocks that are down not 17% from their highs. I'm talking about stocks that are down 80 to 95% from their highs. Those are the stocks I'm trying to like compare to like those major crashes and recessions and all that. Like, look, it's the SPY. And I know you know this. I'm just making this point for other people in the stream accent. Yeah, I mean, you can see like, how can we like, if I put this in log, is it better? Kind of, but you can see like they were both going up over here, and then right here, the ARK started going down, but in that same period, SPY was still going higher till about over here. A lot are citing long bear markets, but in this new machine-driven market cycle, it's gonna have much greater. There's more money in the market than ever. There's more short-term trading than ever, as far as I am aware of. Yeah, there's more volume. Like, everything is just it's like the market's on, it's been on steroids, really. I mean, so yeah, moves. I think I actually agree with that AK quite a bit in both directions. I mean, we're getting the types of moves that you would see on average in like the 1900s in 5 to 10 minutes on the S&P 500. A 0.5% 5-minute candle. Like, people that are new to the market, like, oh, it's just a 5% half. It's just a 5-minute 0.5% red candle on the SPY, green can. That's absolutely insane. The amount of money you need for that type of a move is crazy in that little amount of time. In general, that move is crazy. RDBX, not much I can do here. This looks kind of similar to something from Premium, though. Which one is it? It's from the bullish watch list. This, what is this? HYMC. It kind of looks like this. Look at this one. It's like wedge, the hidden bullish divergence. And then this, you didn't really, you know, at some point you can get hidden bullish divergence. Like, I'd say like HYMC is a lot more developed technical wise, but this is not too different. You kind of have that wedge formation as well. And then I'd see a little bit of a level here at 512-ish from these lows over here. If you break that, then you got a gap fill at 364. And a hammer candle on the 4-hour today, pin bar. to daily. Daily, not much of a nice candle. Daily is like a meh candle. XCUR, this is, again, just whenever somebody requests something going straight up, if you request something going straight down, there's just not much I can do. I mean, I know nothing about why this has been going down for much longer than the market's been going down. I wouldn't even think about technicals right now, just focus on what the company is and what they're doing. More lower time frames forming a wedge with some 1 hour divergence. Yep, watching the same thing, even on that 15-minute. So I'm watching the wedges tomorrow. Yeah, I even have the chart on the 1 hour. That triple classic bullish divergence on the other side. So low time frames are showing you some variables, but the high time frame, like, who knows? Maybe if these low time frames play out, it can help clean up the higher time frames, so we'll see. Also, I have not eaten since 1 p.m. It's 10 o'clock. But yeah, you all thought I was joking. You all thought I was joking when I said streams are going to be longer. An hour and 10, all right? Let's see the last time I did an hour and 10 minute stream. And I didn't even have like a swing segment. And the premium day trade segment was very, very small because I didn't even talk about the 3 or 4 SPY and QQQ winners from today. I haven't done this a stream this long in like 3 weeks. It was like 1 stream I did for an hour and 14 minutes. But yeah, thank you all for the 44 likes. Really appreciate it. 6 more likes at 50. I'm being a little bit greedy right now. I know. I'm sorry. Yeah. Look at this. Like like it's always tough to end the stream when this is happening. When we're getting this uptrend. This is like, I just screenshotted the YouTube thing. But look, we're getting this dip on stream viewers around 10:05-ish. And now it's like the last like 10-15 minutes, like more people coming into the stream. So it's always tougher. It's like, I don't like ending the stream when this is going up. You know what I'm saying? Like usually I end the stream like when it's like going like this. Now we're getting like some hidden bullish divergence. Like we have a wedge breakout right now. That's crazy. What are you doing? There we go. So we got this wedge breakout on live stream viewers. Like, how do I end the stream after we break out? Like, I can't just dump the viewers. That's just not the right thing to do. Before somebody takes that out of context, I'm talking about stream viewers, okay? But yeah, of course I'm charting stream viewers. Does anybody remember when I did the bullish bat on subs? And it actually played out. That was like actually the craziest thing ever. I don't even know what to look up. Monthly subs. Look at this. Wait, you can't even see the full thing. Tell me that isn't crazy. Tell me this is not absolutely insane. Monthly gained subs. A bullet, like this is a textbook bullish bat. I mean, D point's a little bit deep, but like it literally played out beautifully, and it's not showing it, but it hit the C point, which is like the textbook target of the bat, and that was like August, September, October of last year, and that's when like the growth like stopped. And now like if we look at this, like it's all the way back down. Like, isn't that just crazy? And look at this. Look at this. Lockdown browser. If anybody's in college, you know what that is. It's the worst thing ever. Yeah, let's play Cheddah's song now. Actually, I don't want my Apple Music to pop up. Never mind. CLOV was popping then, and now it's starting to get up again. Yeah, that spike was definitely largely thanks to all of you in the CLOV community, 100%. But yeah, I mean, it's time to start. It's time to start getting back on the grind with streaming. This is gonna be a little bit interesting. But look at this. Look at this, everybody. I need to start getting back on the grind. Okay. I lost 10 subscribers in the last month. This never happened before. I think I was averaging like there was points where I was averaging 100 new subs a week, and now like I went negative. I think that's the first time ever. So like I don't know how I went negative. Like there are 10 people that unsubscribed. I can't curse on the stream. Okay, never mind. I hope you do well actually. All right. Sorry for your loss, but we gotta get this up to like a B plus. All right, C plus is just not gonna happen. All right, and yeah, I don't run ads on the stream, everybody. I don't run ads on the stream, so this is actually pretty accurate. I'm not even lying. A lot of people think you make crazy money off YouTube. I mean, if I were to run ads, maybe, I don't know. See how much, I'll tell you all right now how much money I made on YouTube in the last 28 days. $3.45. Okay, that's probably just from like course video ads. Well, this is not true. Let's see. It's also crazy how there's 200,000 views. Like I can't even, like, that number is actually crazy. 200,000 times people looked at my videos. But where, all right, here we go. So yeah, this is it. All right, so this was the bat. Look how beautifully played out. Hit the targets and then boom. All right, and then this is pretty much also when the market topped out. But yeah, look at this. I got 570 subs in August of 2021, and I've gotten -10 in the last month. So like I said, the streams are back. Hopefully we can get back up to these numbers and much, much further. I don't know, is there any TA we can do here? There's definitely a lot of support around nothing, so hopefully we can stay above that in terms of monthly gains. So I'll just do some, let's see video views though. Let's see, what do we see here? Alternate bat. Oh my gosh. We have an alternate bullish bat on views. All right. And we hit the PCZ once, and now we're potentially putting in a double bottom at the PCZ. We might get a confirmation low at the PCZ. So this might be a good sign. Maybe we'll be looking at this in a few months too. So you just spot a little bit of a wedge as well. Yeah, a wedge breakout. Look at that. We're kind of even back testing the breakout of that wedge. Anybody who's like new to the stream, like it's like their first time watching, they probably think I've lost my mind. They probably, I mean, I'm sorry if you're new to the stream. Let's see what the future projections look like. So listen, I promise you all this is not going to happen. I'm not going to be at 6,000 subs in 5 years. Okay, I promise you that. I'll delete my channel. Okay, if in 2027 there's 6,600 subs in this channel, I'll delete the channel. Somebody just clip this. $4 million views? Nah. That's got to be much higher than that. All right, so we got to put in some work this summer. Okay, everybody, and that's why streams are back, okay? Because I enjoy streaming as well. I'm not just saying I'm doing this for like, oh, I want to get those numbers up. Like, it's just not been a great start to the year stream-wise, and I want to do better. So hopefully you all enjoy the efforts, and I enjoy all of you watching the stream and chatting. So appreciate you all. All right, thank you for watching the stream. How long did we do tonight? An hour and 20. I'll take it. I'll take it. I'm gonna go have dinner. Have a good night. Thank you for watching the stream. Good luck tomorrow. It's a very crazy market. And yes, okay, yes. Futures are now green. Beautiful. Futures were pretty red around like 8:30ish. Now they're green. NASDAQ futures are up over 0.5%. Okay. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Hopefully they can stay like that. But we'll see. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Join the Discord. Okay. The link for the Discord is in the description. Everything apart from the stream is pretty much headed to the Discord now. Okay. All these educational channels, paid bots for free if I can find them. Where are the bots at again? I think it might be like paid bots for free. Look at this harmonic scanner from Undershot. Shout out to TWTR. All this stuff. You get free flow, all that stuff. You could chat with over 2,000 other people in all these chats, and swing alerts, crypto alerts, our ETF simulator. If this is not financial advice, but just how we're thinking about the market long term. We got 4 of the Discord mods, including myself, managing this. It's red, but I don't believe it's as red as the market is in the last however long. And again, we're not focused on like 1 month results. We're focused on how this performs in at least the next like 7, 8, 9, 10 months like that. So all that stuff. And whenever I go live, I know YouTube does a horrible job of putting out alerts. You can get these alerts that I put out for all of you, timestamps whenever they're live. You'll see that, and all that good stuff. Links in the description. If you want to join premium, which are these channels, chat. This is where I'm sending a bunch of intraday analysis and just analysis in general. Additional swings on top of these. A boatload of option ideas. This has been the best performing channel in Discord in this year by far. Weekly watch list, which is now both bullish and bearish. I send bearish names and bullish names, in my opinion. And then this bullseye bot from TWTR. Shout out to TWTR. All right, thank you for watching the stream. All the links are in the description. If you want to donate crypto to Ukraine, I think it's the first link. That's the first link in the description if you want to donate crypto to Ukraine. And yeah, thank you for watching the stream. Vibes in the chat. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Hopefully that alternate bat on the views plays out. And have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow night.
You're falling down like heavy stone through the muddy waters that you know. Dropped in another day, barely saying what you ought to say. Hey, oh, now your lies are coming. Hey, anyway, let them know. Tell them how you don't want to love them. Anyway, let them know. Tell them how you don't want to love them. You're dragging on like winter tile. Rub through the rubble on your mind. Back in the knowing place, you're the weapon you don't want to waste. Hey, now you're on the ground and running. Hey, anyway, let them know. Tell them how you don't want to love them. Anyway, let them know. Tell them how you don't want to love them. Oh no, you're not whole when you're so alive. Can't you see we all know you got free? So can you tell honestly? Say